So I recently saw the Minecraft movie, which is something I never thought I'd ever say because I was one of the many people that thought this movie was going to be freaking terrible. But then again, I don't think there's a single person out there that genuinely thought this movie was going to be good. I was not excited for this movie at all. I made a whole video making fun of it. In fact, the only reason I even saw this film in the first place was because a bunch of my friends were going, because if I was alone, you couldn't pay me to watch this movie. But anyways, I went and saw it yesterday with a bunch of my friends, and while I was right in the sense that it is a really bad movie, it's one of those where it's so bad it's good, and I'm very glad that was the case, as it overall made for a very enjoyable time. I actually liked the movie, which I can't believe I just said that, as again, I thought this movie was just going to be bad and I wasn't going to enjoy it in the slightest, but thankfully that wasn't the case, and I overall had a good time watching this film, and I'm going to be getting into it. But before I go any further, I just want to say this video will include spoilers, so if you want to watch this movie for yourself, then I suggest you click off this video right now. You're still here? Alright, let's do this. So the first thing I really liked about the movie was the CGI and all the practical effects they use. I think visually they look very, very good. All the scenic shots they do are beautiful. I love how the movie looks, how it actually looks like if Minecraft existed in the real world. Though it was weird seeing zombies actually move like how humans would. Like, that was a bit weird, as I'm used to zombies just walking with their arms straight out like in the game. Though I will say I don't like how some of the animals look, such as the pigs, the cows, and the llamas, as I thought they looked a little creepy, especially with the villagers and the pillagers. I thought they looked really weird, but eventually as the movie went on, their design really grew on me. So overall, the CGI was phenomenal. I think they did a really good job with it. But the second thing I liked was that the movie does not take itself seriously whatsoever. It knows it's a stupid movie, and it wholeheartedly plays into that and dang near embraces it. A lot of the things the characters do and say, mainly Garbage Man and Steve, can really only work in a movie that does not take itself seriously. From Steve getting into a whole 30-second song and dance about lava chicken to one of the lines in the movie literally being, "First we mine, then we craft, let's Minecraft." I mean, heck, one of the piglins, whose name is Chungus, literally tells Steve that he has to unalive him. This movie is just one of those where you just turn your brain off and have fun, and I'm very happy that was the case, as if this movie did try and take itself seriously, then we would have gotten something like the live action The Last Airbender, where it's just so bad it's bad. I also just want to add that the theater experience I had definitely made this movie more enjoyable, and they were all people around my age, and they just went to see this movie for the memes and the laughs. So every time Steve said his iconic lines such as "Flint and Steel" and "Chicken Jockeys," we all just started clapping and cheering, especially when he said, "I am Steve." We were all like, "Yeah, wow!" It just made the whole experience that much more enjoyable. But one of the other things that I liked was the couple cameos that were in this movie, such as Dan TDM, who you can see at the auction at the beginning of the movie, and also the lead game designer of Minecraft, Jens Bergenstein. And I'm very sorry if I butchered the pronunciation, which I most definitely did. And I didn't even recognize him at first, because you see him as a waiter. It wasn't until my friend pointed him out that I was like, oh shoot, really? But there's also a really cool tribute to Technoblade, where you see a pig walking by wearing his iconic crown, and Steve calls him a legend. I just thought that was super cool that they added that in, and I just want to quickly say rest in peace to Technoblade. But another little small thing I liked about this movie was that a lot of the sound effects came straight from the game, which was really cool to hear, as it shows that the people working on this movie actually cared about the source material and wanted to make an accurate adaptation, and not just some soulless, extremely inaccurate live action adaptation like Dragon Ball Evolution. Another thing I want to quickly mention that I thought was pretty cool is that in the post-credits scene where Steve goes back to his house in the real world, he meets Alex, who I'm assuming is the new owner of the house, and I don't know what they're gonna do with this, if they're gonna make a sequel and turn this into the Minecraft Cinematic Universe or the MCU, but honestly, I don't even know how a sequel would work for this movie unless it's literally just gonna be the exact same story, or unless it's just Steve and Alex exploring the Minecraft world. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But honestly, my only real criticism of the movie is that it's just not good. Like, it's one of those, again, where you have to turn your brain off in order to enjoy it, because if you start taking it seriously in the slightest way, it just kind of falls apart. And I've been seeing a lot of mixed opinions on the movie overall. I've seen some people say that like this is the best worst movie of the year. I've seen some movie critics say that this is the worst movie of 2025 so far, when I don't even know how you can say that when the live action Snow White exists and that came out this year. But honestly, I can't understand why some people don't like the movie, as again, it is really bad, but it's enjoyably bad. My only other criticism is that some of the the characters kind of fell flat for me, mainly Henry and Natalie, as the only characters I found myself really caring about were Steve, Garrett Garrison, and sometimes Dawn. Now, I'm not saying that Sebastian Hansen and Emma Myers, the actors who played Henry and Natalie, did a bad job. In fact, I actually think they did fine with what they were given. I just didn't find myself caring about their characters for the most part. Though towards the end of the movie, I did start to warm up to Henry and Natalie a little bit, but again, I only really cared about Steve and Garrett, or Garbage Man. And that's about it. So overall, I give a Minecraft movie a 6 out of 10, and that's just my score because of how much I enjoyed it. If I had to rate it based on its quality, I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. If you just want a movie that's so enjoyably terrible that you can just sit back and laugh at, then you would definitely like this movie, but if you don't like those kinds of films, then you would not like the Minecraft movie. And that's gonna do it for the video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.